hell. You will say the murder that speaks to my will. Told me there were doubters who question my skill. They wanna put my style to the test, and I still. The best they want the crown on my head. I said chill. If you want me to murder the speak, then I will. Slaughter goons under the moonlight. John Wilkes, that's who I'm in the booth like. Hey bro, I go ham for dead presidents and everything I record is over your head like a boom mic.
Yo. So I'm just going to make a short statement because I'm sure I've pissed more than a few people off recently. I can understand why people wanted to vote for Donald Trump. Yeah, I'm going to talk about this shit. I'm not like, how can you not talk about it? Like, if you really care about America and this little sliver of freedom that we have left, I can understand why people wanted to vote for Donald Trump, especially against Hillary Clinton in 2016. I don't know how he won the primary, but that's another story. I can understand why people wanted to vote for Donald Trump in 2020. I cannot understand how people right now, like after they stormed the Capitol and tried to override the system, which Hillary Clinton, say what you want about her, and I blame her for 4 years of Trump. I don't even honestly blame Trump too much. A lot of people knew it wasn't going to end well. And it's not even over yet. But like, he exceeded my expectations highly. Like, and I mean, he failed way harder than I thought he was going to fail. I tipped my hat off to him a couple times. He signed the Farm Bill in 2018 that gave like nationwide access to CBD products. He funneled money to opiate recovery programs, but at the same time, some of those programs, they're just trying, like, if you've never been to a Suboxone clinic, if you've never been to a methadone clinic, you don't know. Like, you might be better off just stopping heroin cold turkey. Like, if you really want to quit. Some people can be helped out with methadone. I don't know about Suboxone. That shit's so microdosed. I don't know how you can wean yourself off that. I seriously don't. Like, they make it in micrograms, not milligrams. Like, it's some potent shit. Anyway, I tipped my hat off to Trump a couple times. I didn't go around for 4 years wearing my fuck Trump shirts. I was pretty quiet. There's a few things like, even the people I knew was Trump supporters, I was like, yeah, I think he's not responding well to this. Say what you will. If it's from China, whatever. He's been too busy golfing. But like, if we're ever going to storm the Capitol, like if we as people collectively like try to overturn the government, can we do it for a cause and not just to keep a failed billionaire, quote unquote billionaire? A lot of his money is tied up in property. Like, he's got money, don't get me wrong, but he's got a lot of debt too. And a lot of money tied up in property. I believe he owes $1 billion out. Some bank that cut ties with him. Didn't he have a bank account in China that cut ties with him recently? And he was so anti-China. I don't know. But I don't know. There could have been a call for peace immediately. You can't tell me the president of the United States didn't see and didn't know that when that crowd was crashing in the Capitol, walking on the Senate floor, sitting in Nancy Pelosi's office, he couldn't have got on TV or he couldn't have made a statement somewhere in a bunker, been like, I do not condone this. I disavow this. Like, stop. You will all be incarcerated. Like, you're committing treason. So, someone to this day that's going to say that they still support Trump after that, I don't know if we can interact at all. I'm going like I can't understand I can't understand that logic of like I get it. I get it. If you're his supporter, even if you're going to like peacefully protest, like if you didn't storm the Capitol or whatever, or if you got up there and you were like, what was, I'm going to turn the other way. I can understand that. Like if you went up there and you went and like turned away and you were like, oh, this is something like, I, I can even understand that. But to storm the Capitol like that and just like, that's treason. They were trying to fucking kill representatives for a man, just to keep a man out of jail. I mean, if it was for a cause, like I don't know, like if there's going to be revolution, let's fight for something, not for a fucking person. That's like cult behavior. I mean, a lot of people say the underlying reason is to have a white nationalist state, you know. But then how white are you? Are you the Spanish white? Are you the British white? Or are you the Irish or Scottish white? Because, you know, like I've got Irish ancestry, I've got Scottish ancestry, German Jewish ancestry. Like my name is shortened from Lowenstein to Low when my whatever came here. I know ancestors, but like, you know, I don't know if they're my great grandparents or what. Cherokee and Shawnee, minute amount, Cherokee, Shawnee. Uh, and everyone can say they got like Cherokee in them, but like, yeah, like my grandma, mom's side, she was like really not half, but like 25%, like half. Her grandparents, one of them was like half white, half Indian, and composed of the Indian, it was like a Cherokee and Shawnee like partner. So I've been told. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, that's it. Like, you know, I'm not hating on every Trump supporter. I'm not hating on like just the people that are still the people that still got his back. Like even after that shit, you can't tell me he couldn't have like tried at least like made a statement. As much as people were live tweeting and on their Facebook and like, you know, if he would have came out and been like, no, but he was the one that said, now let's take this march to the Capitol and you know what, you know, verbatim. I don't know exactly what he said. And I heard it and just it's shocking. Like, uh, so for some feathers that may have ruffled recently, like from people, like if I'm hearing out of your mouth to like now that Trump unfortunately did not win, then I can't understand that logic. And call me a snowflake or call me whatever shit. Like, like uh, the Democrat side, fucking, as much as I hate Hillary Clinton, you know what I mean? Like, she did. It's like the day after, you know what I mean? It's like, well, on to the next one. So I don't know. I almost feel like I got a target on my back because I was ignorant to the fact because I voted for Bernie Sanders in the 2015 primary that if I'm looked up on certain sites, you can tell I'm a registered Democrat. And, I vote Republican sometimes. Like, really, I was an independent. It's just Bernie Sanders, another independent, was trying to get nominated on the Democratic ticket. And when you vote in a primary, which that was my first primary I ever voted in, wasn't the first election, but it was the first primary, you have to claim a party because you had, I guess you couldn't just, I guess you couldn't just take two ballots, could you? Can you vote? If anyone watches this replay, because there's no one in here right now, if you hear this, can you take both parties' ticket? Like, well, I guess it's too late now. I don't know. I mean, technically, you're not voting for the same people twice. So if you're not registered, like if you're independent, like would you be able to take each ballot so you wouldn't have to be because like for real, dude, like I'm like kind of worried. I mean, like back in the day growing up, like fucking like we used to have like baby shoes thrown in their yard, you know what I'm saying? Like yeah, not every Democrat and a very small amount of Democrats just want to take your guns. Like the majority of Democrats ain't trying to like. My dad was a very a very what's the word, active Democrat. Like he flew the donkey flag outside and everything, and so like when he'd put that up, it's usually baby shoes thrown in our yard. You know what I mean? I haven't flown it, which I got rid of the flagpole too. And I'm on paper as being a Democrat. And yes, I can vote. Yes, I can. Well, I don't know. I might not be able to get a firearm around here. They'll all say I'm crazy and not mentally stable. But if I go somewhere and start my life over, yeah, I think it'd be pretty easy for me to get a gun because I could get a fair evaluation. So I have my moments, but yeah, I'd never use a firearm unless it was in self-defense, and it was like basically a last resort. Um, but yeah, that's like I'm not going to completely like fucking just block everyone or not talk like, but yo, just know that like if you can say that like even if you were riding with Trump, up until the point that it got serious, and I hope everyone that hears this, maybe no one will hear this, y'all know when it got serious. Y'all know when it got serious. You know, like they were certifying votes for the Electoral College then and there. They planned that shit out. there's rumors or accusations that like they were being, there's an inside job with it. Like, I don't know. I ain't even saying that. That's that's for investigators to speak on. That's for investigators to investigate. Sorry to be rhetorical, um, but yeah, me being a registered Democrat, me being a race trader, me knowing about these neo-Nazi white power groups in the area where I live since the 1990s, like taking Brock Smith with me to my brother's punk rock show, and both of our lives getting threatened by motherfuckers wearing swastikas and double lightning bolts, 88s, skulls with wings, like the Eagles. Like, yeah, like I've known about these neo-Nazi groups for quite a while, about, not 30 years, but 4 decades, 90s, aughts, 10s, 20s. They speak about this shit a lot. They, so let me say this. They, whoever they is, some of the media, a lot of politicians, people with money, people with power, people that could benefit from the conflict. So I just keep on hearing civil war, civil war, civil war. Come try to take my guns. Well, come try to take my guns too. Fuck you. Let's find out who has better aim. I'm just joking about that. I really don't want any. Yeah. So I retract that statement. But anyway, but I mean, what do they think? Like we're just gonna if all the Biden supporters get found out, or if like oh someone who's black, they just assume they're a Biden supporter. Because I've seen black people at Trump rallies. Are they paid to be there? It's arguable, but don't hate the player, hate the game. Um, let's keep on hearing these idle, like not idle, but just like passive aggressive threats of violence. Like, civil war gets brought up a lot. I can agree with that. I've felt something. I feel energy sometimes, and like I've been worried for a while. It's just like we're on the brink of something, and I don't know what more could like set it off other than like terrorists, domestic terrorists breaking into the Capitol to try to revolt for a man. Not even a cause. Trump doesn't give a fuck about them. If Trump cared about like these, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that. He says he loves the poorly educated because like he didn't say this, but he did say he loves the poorly educated. In my opinion, he loves the poorly educated because they're easily manipulated. Like, I didn't mean to make that rhyme, but so that's my deal. Like, fucking basically, like, I haven't told anyone like that, I didn't get personal with them. It's just like I told them I can't fuck with them. Like, I can't have a conversation with you right now. Like, it's gonna take a while. Like, we could talk and be cordial here and there, but like, I ain't trying to. Yeah, I ain't trying to be your buddy right now. Cause like really, I don't want to be on any kind of FBI terror watch list. Like I don't know how far deep into this shit these people are. You know what I'm saying? Like, so basically, it's just like I've talked to a few people about it, and like, you know, there's been some Trump supporters that like are basically disavowing him now. Like they're not saying some of the people I've talked to that, like I said, I'm independent. So I'll listen both sides and I'll give Trump credit. He did a couple good things, but I don't think that was exactly his idea. And he didn't finish the wall. He finished a portion of it. And Mexico's not paying for that. American citizens are. And American citizens, I believe, paid like about $3.4 million for him to golf on his own fucking golf courses. So I don't want this guy to be able to run for political office again. I don't want this guy to have Secret Service protection because he is a treasonous terrorist. That's why if you're sticking up for him and you're sad that he didn't get elected after, like, hopefully a rational person, and I have talked to a couple rational people. Hopefully, like, just because you supported Trump back in the day, just because you supported Trump over these past 4 years and wanted him reelected, I'll just be redundant. I ain't hating on that. I can actually kind of understand. It's just like I think y'all got kind of conned. We've been conned before too. We thought Obama was going to do a lot more than he did, and he didn't. We thought the Democratic Party primary was going to be fair, and they stifled Bernie Sanders. And then Hillary Clinton gets up there and like, well, like pretty much like a lot of Democrats hate Hillary Clinton. Believe it or not, I'm one of them. Fuck that bitch. Like, she called my generation a bunch of ruthless predators that needed to be corralled in and healed. Like you heal a dog. Fuck that bitch. I think I wrote Bernie Sanders in. I don't know. Like, it didn't matter anyway. Like Ohio went red, so like it didn't even really matter. Like, it went red by a good amount. And I don't know. Like, I can't remember. I don't know if I voted for Hillary or Bernie. I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Trump in 2020 either. Yeah, because I can vote. I'm not a felon. I don't know like why people are like start like calling me a felon and shit. So yeah, to reiterate, to be redundant, if you can argue, like, I'm not gonna say argue, fucking I don't know. This shit's just so fucked up. And like, I'm literally living somewhere where I feel I got a target on my back. I'm a registered Democrat and I'm a race traitor because I like black comedy. I like black music. I also like white music. I also like white comedy. I like instrumental Native American music. I don't know. I like music. Sorry. Like, rap was like basically the best music that was created during my generation. Like, just like rap's grown up. Like, I've pretty much grown up with rap. Like, there might be some people that see this and they're like, what the fuck is he talking about? Yo, I've been told this shit. I've been threatened with physical violence just because, like, my pants aren't above my belly button, but like their pants are showing more ass crack than me. Like, I don't understand this shit. I seriously like don't understand this shit. And there was some weird shit going on at my house, like after the election. Like, yo, dude, like, I've just had bad energy about all this shit. And like where I do in my free time, like now, except I'll go on different chats. I never went on Parlor, but I've been on D Live, and they've been saying weird shit. You know, like they were talking about January 6th. I heard people fucking saying like, yeah, we're gonna take the Capitol. Like what? Yeah, they're not gonna do that. They'll have fucking they'll have the like they have to have. So that's why like the police force there. Like I was like, dude, I've seen like all these passive aggressive threats. Not even really passive aggressive. Like when you say you're gonna take back the Capitol, I would assume that like the FBI would be like at your door the next day. Like I'm kind of worried about even paraphrasing this shit. But, like I ain't left my town and if you watch this video the whole way through, it's obvious I'm paraphrasing, just talking about something. But yeah, I've seen how these people talk, and they really did it. It fucking trips me out, and they're still talking about shit. Like it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like if anyone sees this, I would recommend downloading TikTok over the next 48 hours because like they're posting videos up on there that are getting taken down real quick that the news ain't really talking about. So like get on like the political videos of TikTok and start. You're gonna see a lot of shit, and it ain't fake. I know it sounds gay as fuck, and I don't know. Something compelled me to download TikTok like about a month and a half ago. Uh, yo, so that's another place I seen it. Like it's just crazy, dude. It's just fucking crazy. Like if we're gonna have a revolution, I'm a punk rocker. Like I'm not really an anarchist because I realize like people living, there needs to be some central form of leadership, government. Yeah, government's just the term for central leadership. Like if there's gonna be millions of people living on land, hundreds of millions of people, yeah, they kind of need some order. But like, I think a lot of things in government should change. I agree with some Republican views. That's why I registered as independent when I was like 18. Like, dad was pissed at me. He's like, register as Democrat. I'm like, no. Like, why? It's like, well, I mean, I agree with both sides on some things. Like, I'll agree with this side on this, and I'll agree with this side on that. Like, so he was happy I was like registering and pretty like enthusiastic about politics. I've been enthusiastic about politics like at a young age, and I kind of got that from watching parodies on Saturday Night Live. So like I'd want to know like, well, what's the base of this joke? And then I'd start watching the news, and I'm glad from day one. Like even in the 2015 primary, that's when I started making my "fuck Trump" shirts, and I didn't wear them too long. I wore them until the primary was over, and I broke it out. I broke it back out like the week before election day, and after he won, I put it up. I might have worn it a couple times here and there, but it wasn't like as much as I heard Obama N-word president, blah blah blah, for 8 years. Like almost every goddamn day. He's a shape shifting lizard. He's fucking all that fucking David Icke QAnon bullshit. I would state why I disagreed with some of his shit, but I would also commend him when he did some good things, even though it probably wasn't totally him. You know what I mean? Like, except for executive orders, then yeah. But I didn't really agree with a lot of his executive orders. I didn't agree with him fucking like backing out of the Paris Climate Agreement. I just, I just, I don't like how he made fun of handicapped people. I don't like how after he got into office, that fucking funding for disability, when it comes to tax returns, was slashed. Call me a freeloader, call me a bum, call me a fucking libtard, call me a snowflake, call me whatever the fuck, I don't care. But I ain't no domestic terrorist. That's something that I've been labeled as before. Yeah. It'd be hard for me to find that, but like, yeah, yeah. If I had the tools that some of these officers and officials have when it comes to internet history, when they're like tracking down these domestic terrorists that stormed the Capitol. Yeah, I could bring up the post of where like just cause I was getting into it with my brother at the time, like they'd see me pictures like I don't know, have that across my face, just like clowning, fucking taking some pictures. I don't know. I'm in this house a lot, fucking like, you know, shoot me, sue me, kill me. Uh they would call me a terrorist. I'm like, what the fuck? So I jokingly took a picture of the Quran, which ironically enough was left here from my brother. Again, clowning. Like, I don't know. I read a couple swords, but anyway, yeah. Never had any intent. And I don't think it's cool to storm the Capitol and like try to like, yo, if that is to happen, you better have a goddamn good reason. Like, you know, if America comes to the point where they're like, okay, yeah, a couple can't have more than 2 kids. So if someone gets pregnant, forced abortions for if they're third time being pregnant, or if someone gets divorced, they can't have kids with another man, or shit like that. Just I don't know. Or if like if it goes back to where like black people can't get married or some shit like that, or I don't know. Like I'm just trying to think of these drastic examples of like what would warrant that. And that happened just to keep Donald Trump out of jail. Cuz he can't be charged with outside uh accusations now. There's like some amendment that a president can be charged with the crime if it is in like his title. Like if he's committing crimes in the name of being the commander in chief, the president of the United States of America, he can be charged then. But he like any prior lawsuits that possibly didn't go through before he got elected, those are on hiatus. And when he's out, he doesn't have that protection. And then he's got to deal with those lawsuits. And all these companies like taking away their fucking funding and contracts with Trump. Yo, I hate to say it, but like uh that makes me happy. I hope he gets impeached. Like I hope the impeachment goes through. I don't want him to be able to run for office again. I don't want him to have Secret Service protection. He's a traitor. He tried to overthrow our government to get out of jail. He's a snitch. He's a narc. He's a rat. He could have came out with a statement when that shit was going down. Back up from the Capitol. You're committing treason. You will be prosecuted. I thought Trump was the president of law and order. I agree. Protesting is American. It's the American way. It's what America was fucking born on. America would not be a nation without protests. But times have changed. That's not the way to do it. Like, they probably could have won that fucking opposition, like, back in the 1800s. But, yo, once National Guard was fucking called in, you seen how fucking quick that shit got cleaned up. I mean, I really have, like, I haven't talked to too many people recently, but a couple people that I have talked to, like, that are very known Trump supporters, or were. You know, maybe the idea of him they still like, but, like, you know, it's like, if you can fucking, like, it, I don't understand how someone could think that was good for our country. And now, like, there's this call for unity, and, like, I agree, yeah, we should have unity. But, like, this is what I'm saying. Anybody that's, like, still like, well, yeah, Trump didn't win, unfortunately. Because, like, sometimes I'll troll. Sometimes I'll troll. I'll be talking to a motherfucker, like, I don't know, I'll go in their chat room and, like, say it might be a black dude, you know, to be stereotypical. You're thinking, like, he's in favor of Black Lives Matter. So I'll go up in there, I'll be like, Trump 2020. So, like, kind of get their reaction. You know, it's like clowning, talking shit. Like, but, you know, I'll event, like, dude, I'm just clowning. Like, I'm just, like, it's a trigger word now. Like, I mean, not so much anymore. Now there's, like, it used to be a trigger word, though. You either got a fucking, like, very emphatic, like, you know, like, yeet, yeet. Or maybe not even a yeet yeet, but, like, you know, you're either going to have someone that's like, yeah, fuck, you know, or you're going to have someone that's like, fuck that motherfucker. Like, very few mellow responses. You know, now it's kind of like shifted into thirds. Like, luckily, there are some people that realize, like, what he did was fucked up, you know? And if anyone's confused, like, I could try to speak with you and be like, you know, like, he was just trying to keep himself from jail, because after he's the president, he's got lots of lawsuits coming to him from the South District courts of New York, and more than that, and you know, I'm not surprised to see that happen in my life, honestly. A mob, you know, say that it was a mob. Hell, even if it was a mob that it was like someone fighting for a just cause, yeah, it's a mob. You know, like, I'm not surprised I saw the White House try to be well, I guess that was the Capitol building, not the White House technically, whatever. I'm not surprised to see that in my life. But, like, as much as, like, the Million Man March, they said, like, they were going to try, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't believe that they were going to, you know, but, like, that's what some people would say. It's like, juggalos went up and fucking marched on Capitol grounds and was more peaceful. Whoop whoop, motherfucker. You know, but, like, I'm not surprised to see that happen in my life. What I am surprised by is they did it just for one man. And oh yeah, Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump for the 2021 tax bill. Um, I believe, y'all can look this up, but like when taxes are raised on the middle class again, um, that was Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell. So Biden should fix that. Um, yes, Democrats call for more taxes, but they're calling basically like for a flat tax where like rich people pay more of their fair share, like give tax cuts to the middle class. People are hurting out here, man. I don't understand like why we keep on just making it easy for these wealthy people to get even more wealthy. And like so many working people across America are struggling. It's sad. Um, if people want to say Democrats, like I said in the beginning, yo, anybody that knew my dad, card carrying member of the NRA, he flew the donkey. We'd have baby shoes thrown in our yard. Like, Democrats ain't going to take your guns. Donald Trump was the one that said, like, if there is a family member that someone thinks mentally unstable and they have firearms, if they could take them to court, like due process, take away their guns. Donald Trump was the one that said, well, fuck due process, because sometimes when it gets to court, it's too late. Take away their guns and then have due process, see if they can get their guns back. Yo, it goes both ways. Yeah. There's been Republicans calling for gun control. There's been Democrats calling for gun control. But Democrats don't just sit here and think like, how are we going to take their guns away? To me, honestly, like, I don't know. It's tricky, man, because like some families, like they just pass down guns as like inheritance, kind of like. So, like, do you just let those people slide, or do you force them to sell them, or like, I don't know. There's a situation that happened with me where I basically had to like, get the guns out of here. It was my brother and my uncle wanted to fucking lie on a piece of paper. Anyway, I'll end it with this. I understand why, people have their views. People have their views. We don't have to agree on everything. I can understand, like, I don't know. It's just like after 8 years of a black president, I don't know. It's just like people fucking lost their shit. They said a lot of first-time Republican voters were former Democrats under Obama. I don't know whatever correlation with that is, but whatever. I can understand why people supported him, even in this past election. If you want to think that the election was rigged or whatnot, okay, but like, you know, Democrats weren't crying about that 4 years ago. He said we were, but like, I mean, I don't know. They fucking stormed the Capitol over this shit just to keep a man out of jail. Like, so let's see what happens. Like all these people that were saying, oh yeah, let's see what happens. January 6th, January 6th. Let's see what happens. yeah, let's see what happens with him. And I hope he goes to jail. I hope he gets worse than jail. Since he's still the president, I don't know if I can say exactly what I hope happens, but I hope he gets convicted of treason, inciting a riot, and treason. And I'm not sure. I'm going to look up what the highest punishment for treason is in America. Okay. Um, so I'm just looking this up on Google. Whoever owing allegiance to the United States levies war against them. It's an ambush like that seemed to be like, I mean, I don't know. They weren't well equipped for war, but yeah, like they tried to take over the Capitol in the name of Donald J. Trump. Whoever owing allegiance to the United States levies war against them or adheres to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort within the United States or elsewhere, is guilty of treason and shall suffer or shall be imprisoned not less than 5 years and fined under this title, but not less than $10,000 and ... So yeah, I really don't want everyone to like, but yeah, like the most severe punishment on there, do that to all of them. Like, what the fuck are we doing? You want to cry about when shit happens like Ted Kaczynski and shit? Like, they should have killed him. Yo, if the Oklahoma City bombing, you know what I'm saying? Like, people like that deserve the worst punishment. That So yeah, man, I'm not really. This shit's got me bugged out. I almost felt a calm before the storm. I should have fucking realized, like, yeah, something was about to happen. I'm glad I hadn't been on the internet too much, but like that's part of the reason why. Like, I was getting threats left and right. I was seeing like people like talking about this shit, and I'm just like, dude, like, there's not enough volume in the world for fucking there's not enough volume in the world. There's not enough weed in the world to calm me down about this shit. Cause I'm like, dude, like that. I just think talking like that on the internet, fucking like there's seriously people like blabbering about it. Like, what the fuck? Like, do they not have moderators, like neutral moderators? Like, that's why like so much fucking child porn fucking shit get like I don't know. One thing I think they should fucking work on is cybersecurity, and I don't mean like, like make sure like a lot of these fucking big chat sites and shit like have someone in there that can infiltrate, like when they're talking about terrorist actions and like CP and shit. Like, I don't know, just I mean, that's something that I think could help the world because, like, it's sad to say, but I've been exposed to some of it. Like, I mean, you'll be on these random chat sites with like these Filipino girls, and you're like, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Like, they're a sex slave and not a willing sex slave. Okay, like whatever. If you want to be a willing sex slave, all right, sure. But yeah, they kind of I don't know. Usually skip or in my chat when I come across anybody from the Philippines now or Taiwan or I don't know. If you don't know about the fucking like stream life or chat life or whatever, like you just ain't gonna get what I'm talking about. But if you've been on some of these streaming platforms, chat platforms, like one, you would have seen the chatter. Any self-respecting Republican should disavow what happened and be glad that Trump is out of office or going to be out of office. I mean, he's got a few days left, but so I'm not saying like, I mean, has every Republican as a Nazi come out of my mouth in the past few days? Yes. Again, kind of trolling and just getting out some frustration. But no, I don't truly think that. I've met some very kind Republicans. We disagree like on how the economy should go or whatever, but I know there's good people out there. I would name off people in my area that I think are good that I know are Republicans, but I'm not trying to like. I feel like I've felt like this for a while. That's why I don't have a lot of people on my Facebook. I felt like this for a long while. I almost feel like if someone finds out that they're cool with me, that it's going to put a fucking wedge in between their relationship, and I ain't trying to do that. So that's why I'm like, just like I know how it is when we interact. It's cool. It's all love. But like we ain't gotta be Facebook friends. Like I don't want people to be like, you fucking friends with that Jonathan Lowe N-word wannabe fucking faggot. Like yeah. So yeah, I felt like this for a while. So, but any reasonable fucking adult that sides with the Republican Party, like, yo, I'm with you. If you disavow what happened, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna, I guess it's just, what do you call it? We proceed as it's always been. You know what I mean? Like, we can disagree on a few things, but like, dude, just after 8 years of like so many people fucking like, N word for a president, N word for a president, and then their replacements, this schmuck. And then to still hear people say, oh, it's sad that he didn't win. Dude, like, if he was capable of doing that, and don't, like, I can't hear anyone. I can't fuck with anyone. It's just like, well, he didn't have anything to do with it. They're like, he called for the rally. He closed the rally. He told people, let's march to the Capitol. And he never came on and fucking told him to stop. That was the main thing. Is like, he never got on there to tell him to stop. Could have easily done that. He could have called for peace. He didn't. And now some of his supporters are dead. There's like 2 dead police officers. One dead from a fucking fire hydrant thrown at his fucking nugget. And the other committed suicide from the fucking, like, what he saw. Countless others injured. I can't fuck with that. Like, I Can't fuck with that. And there was a supposedly something like that was supposed to happen if Biden lost. Oh, I guess we'll never know about that. I can assure you, no, it wasn't going to happen. Democrats ain't going to take your guns, and Democrats ain't going to fucking storm the Capitol for some fucking bullshit. We don't fucking suck a dick off a fucking goddamn man. Like, they did this all to keep Trump out of jail. This is what's funny. They don't even know that yet. They'll know it when his ass is in jail. Motherfucker won't turn over his DNA for fucking accusations of molesting a 13-year-old. Like, if someone was accusing me of molesting a 13-year-old, better believe fucking like I didn't do that shit. Shit, I don't know. Last time I got laid, man, like I can't even remember. Yeah, it's been a couple months. Anyway. Hopefully I don't lose too many friends over this, but I have a feeling like I probably will lose some friends over this, but I don't have, I'm used to it. I really don't want to fuck with anyone that's going to fucking defend what happened. To get a, I forget the term, but like when someone like, say there's an undercover gay dude and he like goes after this dude that like some people think's gay but's really straight. He's just like, all right, motherfucker's a faggot. I know he's a fat. Like usually the person that's accusing the other people are really that. Like, so, that dude would actually be the undercover gay dude. That's kind of what happened just now. Like, there's this fear mongering about like, oh, if Biden wins or if Biden loses, then they're going to fucking riot and try to take over the country and blah, 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 and steal the election. But like, that's exactly what they did. That's why I think it's funny sometimes about like, when I admit I've talked some shit on here, without using names and everything. Usually, like, if I use names on here, you were either my family or they were court documents. And so, but yeah, like, if I'm just stating my opinion about some things I see, I'm not using names. If there's court records, if you're my family, yeah, probably use your name. A couple of exceptions with that. But yeah, I just can't believe what's going on. Like, but what I was saying earlier, for people that were saying like, oh, if Biden loses, those fucking Antifa people and da 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 da, they're gonna fucking like riot and try to take like, and that's exactly what they did. And here's my point: is like a lot of the shit that I say on here, at least I say it, and I'm trying to like. Sometimes I paraphrase things. Sometimes I exaggerate things for like effect. Sometimes I downplay things too. Like, I don't just exaggerate shit. Sometimes I downplay shit. Like, cause but yeah, I'd always think it's funny when like I'd say a few things and then like someone's trying to break down my door and like threatening to beat me up and like I don't know. I ain't gonna get into that too much right now, but like, yeah, it's just it's kind of like portraying like what you really are. Like, we were supposed to be the ones that were rioting and shit. Like, it's real easy to be better than us. Just don't riot, don't loot, don't burn buildings down, right? Well, that's what y'all did. So you're no better than a fucking snowflake, libtard, Antifa, fucking country traitor piece of shit that won't stand for the fucking flag. Terrorist, you domestic terrorist. I don't care if I get killed over this shit.